thank you so much for the interest in this series. Just the fact that you can coming around and watching this and liking the videos is just fantastic, and I really appreciate that. I really appreciate that. And so we've got some work to do here on this gate in particular, in this area, and in the room in general. All right. So without any further ado, thanks so much, and let's get back to it. All right, so what I want to do is I want to focus on that. Control 3 to look from the side. I want to make some changes here. Let's break this. Let's get rid of those, and let's pull this down just a little bit. Box select there, and bring my 3D cursor there, and go back into object mode, and let's bring in a circle. Let's see, maybe 6 vertices. Let's scale it down and make some kind of a different shape that can work for this. So Control 3, I'm going to extrude this down, and I'm going to bring it sort of down like this. And this is going to help catch the light and give us a more interesting look, I hope. So let's do that, and let's just maybe close that. And then we'll bevel in a second. Let's grab all these edges going around here, and let's switch to a different mat cap so it's easier to see. So I've got all those, and we're going to use some polys here for sure, but that's part of the game, isn't it? At least in modeling, if you do this in geometry. Okay, now let's take that. How about if we scale that in the X and squash it down? What does that look like? Let's just scale it up a little bit. Let's take this now and just copy it by eye across here. And we'll make this gate more visually appealing, and it turns out that this will be sort of a focusing point. Just make sure we're there. Actually, I'm going to go into individual origins, and I'm going to scale, and I am going to scale it back in the X a little bit, make it a bit rounder like that. Okay, so we have that. Now the next thing I want to do is come in and I got actually my 3D cursor right there, so that's good enough. I'm going to add a let's do it with a cube, scale it down. I'm going to do these parts here. I will flatten that out a bit like that. And that's going to go there, and then I'm just going to Control B to bevel it. We've got 2, 3. It's going to be like that. Okay, and I'm going to come in. I'm going to put a bolt there, and I'll use a UV sphere. I'll just go 10 and 6 or something. Okay, rotate Y90, and look from the front in wireframe. 1 for vertex and box select there. We'll get rid of that, and we'll scale that in the X a little bit. Push it in and scale it down, and we'll shade smooth, and that'll be fine. Just more things to catch the light and dirt and stuff like that in Substance Painter. So let's take this and Control J, and we're gonna worry about shading smooth really later. So, all right, so we're going to do this, duplicating this along. Alright, then I'm going to box select these and Control L so I get everything. I won't put one under there, so for this next row we'll just do the 4, and then I'll come back to here and Control L to get everything, and Shift D and put those up here. So we're getting this for our gate starting to look a little nicer. Let's join all that stuff together. All right, that'll be all done together in metal, and we'll deal with smoothing in a bit now. Let's just have a look at that compared to that. Now, I want to come back here and look at this arch, and then there's something else I want to do. Let's turn this off for the moment. Come in, and I'm thinking, let's see if I can grab all three of these. And is this what I want to do? I want to give myself a little bit more room, so I'm going to pull that out. And might be enough right there. I'll put the subdivision back on in a moment. Let's come in here and actually let's borrow one of those. Okay, so I selected that, and Shift D. I'm going to rotate X 90. I'm just going to pull it over here, P to break it out. Just something for it to attach to the wall. It doesn't maybe make sense just like that. So I'll come in here. I already have a bevel on that, but that's okay. I'm going to scale this in the X and make it wider. That's why I want to do that wall so that this piece fits. And I'll think about the length, but first I'm going to close that and just bevel it like this. I can look in the wall too and see if there are any faces to get rid of. Come on down to the bottom here. Where'd you go? There you are. So edge selection, F to make a face, and bevel. It doesn't matter if they're not exactly the same on the top and the bottom. No one's going to notice. Let's just focus on that. Yeah, I can get rid of at least that. Or I could go in and try to get rid of, yeah, let's get rid of all those. That's probably good enough. Okay, so that's that height there. I think that's all right. I don't really see a problem. Let's see, let's take this and bring my 3D cursor there to get it something in the middle. And then take this and set the origin to the 3D cursor, and then mirror this over. Okay, mirror worked okay, and that's probably okay, just like that. I mean, it's just a small detail, although I might scale that in the Z, just make it a slightly different length. So we got that there. I'm going to apply the mirror to that, and I'm actually just going to join that. So that's the gate, and I'll do something on here. I don't think I'll do it in geometry, so that I can put like a little design in there. And you know, if I want to worry about the shading, I'll just do that anyhow. All right, so hopefully that's a little better. I'll get rid of that one. Yeah, okay, let's put that back on. Before I go much further with that, I had decided that I want to take this. In fact, let's make it easy on ourselves. Let's get rid of all of this and that one. And we're going to take this wall and all this stuff. So let's hide that. It's just easier to select. We're going to spin this around and borrow this. So is that everybody? Yeah, that's everything there. Yeah, so let's duplicate that, rotate Z 90. I'm going to pull it back and try to snap this into place here. I've got snap to edge on right now. So I wanted that, and I was thinking what I would do is make this whole thing short, smaller in some ways. Let me do this and then I'll explain what I'm talking about. Let's get that, and Control L. Let's get rid of that, and then take this and just pull it out a certain ways. I want it narrower. So when I bring the camera in, you're going to see both walls, and I'll shoot it somewhere like there. So let's take all this stuff and pull that in. And all the final tweaking and snapping can be done later. You know, something like that. So for now, we'll just bring this over. And that's to there. So, okay, so where's the back of that? Okay. So we could be in there, and it's like that. All right, it's 2 line torches. So what I'm going to do is I'll copy that over now, and then we'll see what else I want to do. See if I can just bring all that over now. So we had a bunch of jail cells. Now, do I want another torch there? Is too many just to be balanced. I'm going to try it, and we're going to see. Okay, just so it's in there for the moment. So that's our developing scene right there. Okay. We'll still figure out what the deal is with this, and I still may lengthen these, as I had said before. For the time being, I don't know about that portal thing, but I'm going to make it, and we're going to think about whether or not it makes any sense at all. So any way to get a middle in this? Like if I select this and something there, is that roughly in the middle? It's almost there, isn't it? Okay, all right. Let's try this. Let's bring in a circle at maybe 22. All right, just for fun, it's very simple. We're just gonna, that's not right. We're going to extrude up and in a little ways, a little step-like thing there. Extrude up again, a little bit, almost the same distance probably, and in, and we'll come down a little bit. I'm just gonna have to make a face. Let's flip those because they're looking bad. Let's take that, pull it down. Okay, let's bevel these edges. Shift Alt and click those edges. Bevel them with 3. We're going to put a subdivision on, so we're going to have to inset that. Let's try that. Oh, I did Control 2. Huh. I'm just going to see if we can get away with Control 1, if at all. Alright, so we got that there. And then let's find the center point. I believe that's it. Put the 3D cursor there, and I'm going to bring in a cube. And bring it to about there, just so it's just underneath that edge. And take this and pull it out like that. I'll make it a bit wider. Take this edge here and push it down. And that's basically the effect I'm going for. I'm just trying to get as much out of it as I can. Something like that. So let's focus on that and delete this back face. And then take these edges, just the top ones. I don't think I need to double the bottom ones. I hope that's not too weird. I'm going to use 5 though. And yeah, you know what? I don't like just beveling the top. I don't know why. It doesn't feel right. And since this is a magical dungeon, I better do what feels right. I'll do that. And I might end up deleting that in the end anyhow, but okay, so we have that. So let's focus on this again. Bring the 3D cursor there. Take this. Let's look down from the top. Go into edit mode. And my 3D cursor's there. Let's use the 3D cursor as the pivot. Shift-D, rotate Z 180. Select it all. Shift-D, rotate Z 90. This is the one that's sort of inspired by Crash Bandicoot. Yeah, I will definitely be getting rid of those faces down there. In fact, you know what? let's get rid of at least that, and then if they rest on the ground, I might see a little bit of a bevel there. I'll probably get rid of more later. I'm not going to worry too much about the geometry yet in this. I could do some details in Substance Painter. You know, you can put some designs, Aztec things, and little etches and cracks and stuff. And so the next thing was, I was thinking of this kind of, and then I was thinking about this kind of jewel or gem. Do I want 8? Let's turn that off. Yeah, well, we can go with that. Let's extrude down, scale in. Have to make a face. I'm gonna pull that down, and then we'll just extrude up. Keep doing that. Extrude up, and do this. Have to make a face. Maybe not so extreme. You know, just floating over it, and maybe there's lights coming out and particle stuff. I don't know if that's going to fit this theme at all, but we're going to try it for now. I'm going to go with that. And so I'm going to select all the edges going around. I'm going to bevel this, and we'll see if we like it. You know, the concept can change. It definitely can change. Let's just put 3 in there, and then select this one and bevel that one, and the top and the bottom, without crossing over. That way I can shade smooth, but we still get that. And I'll just make sure. Yeah, that all should be fine, but let's have a look right now. See who's, oh boy, you're all blue. That might be a bit big, but we'll see. Yeah, maybe it is a bit big. I didn't change it much. All right, let's do a little something else on the side. This won't look like this, but the idea was to show you that I'm going to have bricks, and I'm going to have this piece in the middle. It's going to run down the whole wall and around these pillars and back. It's going to come over here, and then it's going to end right there. Okay, it'll be covered by that. It'll come around, and probably I'll have it all over the whole wall. All walls, unless I just do it on that wall and these are just brick, but I think I will. And then maybe some Aztec symbols here and there. So there's some Substance Designer stuff coming soon, but we're not ready for that. What we are going to do is take this piece here, Shift D to duplicate it. I just want a plane, scale it down, scale it in Z. We're going to make a shelf. We're going to rotate Y90, and let's break it out now. So this is a shelf. We can put some old bottles and potions and stuff on it, or a skull or something like that. Okay, see, we have a bit of a bevel, so that's great because I had put one on the wall. So something like this. Okay, now I'm going to select this edge because I'm going to bring something there. So bring the 3D cursor there. Did I get it? Yes. And let's use a cube again. I don't often use the cube, do I? If you've been watching my channel, you'll know that I haven't used the cube very often. But it has its uses. It has its uses for sure. How about we just focus on this stuff? Okay, let's take this cube and this face and let's hide inset. And then extrude it back like that. We can get rid of that back face. So we're going to have a thing like this. In fact, maybe I'll make it bigger. We'll bevel that in a bit. But actually, first of all, let's take this and just change its dimensions a bit. Let's bring the 3D cursor to that and take this and mirror this over. Okay, and then it's going to attach to the wall. So how about we take this face, Shift D, pull it back, extrude it back a little bit. We're going to be able to get rid of that face, but we're going to take this and let's, we don't even really need to separate it. Maybe we can just bring that up. Okay, let's go back Let's see what it's like. Okay, that's too thick for my liking. So, did I get rid of that back face there? I guess I... Yeah, okay, just like this. Be bolted into the wall. Okay, so let's flip. Yeah, roughly like that. So now let's take this and roughly position it on the wall. That may not have been the way I want to do this. Let me break those out so I can bevel this, because otherwise it'll get a little difficult. For a guy like me, it'll get a little difficult. 3. This one, a little bit of a bevel, just looking that you don't cross over here. And down below. Okay. We'll shade smooth that in a bit. And then for this guy now, it's easy. I can just take all these edges, holding shift and control, and go all the way back and down in behind this thing here. And we can bevel this like that. And of course we're going to need to bevel those. And then it'll start catching the light. So, you know, if it looks really boxy at first, don't forget the bevel. That's going to help. And then it'll start looking a little nicer. Okay, let's not worry about shading yet, because we're going to join some stuff. In fact, I think I'm going to be okay with that. So I'm going to join that. And I'm just going to... I may end up joining it, but this would be wood and this would be metal, so I may have to break it apart at some point. Wait a second. Yeah, now this has the bevel modifier, so I'm going to apply that. And I'll leave the back because I'm not necessarily going to push it right into the wall. So, okay, now I'll join that. No. I'll apply that and join that. And if we're really freaking out, we can do this right now for the shading. Let's create a hook right here. Let's use a circle. We'll go for 18 vertices. And now I'm going to rotate Y90. Let's get rid of these here. So we have this. Let's give it some thickness like that. B and Alt S. And I think I would prefer to come in like that. And I'll scale the whole thing. Pull it down. And I think I'm going to need to extend the bottom. So what I'll do is I'll just grab these faces here and E and come down like that. I can scale set 0. And I can actually get rid of those. I can see those. Just push that down, sort of like a magnet type thing. This is what it looks like. We'll just center it a little bit more in there, and now we'll bevel those edges. Okay, there's 3, and I'll try Control 1. See how I like it. Just like that. All right, we're going to have another one up there, so I'm going to take this one, Shift D, and how do I want to do this? Rotate Y90. I'm not sure the orientation that I want yet for this. I might want it in the other orientation, but it's going to be there. I'm going to run a chain. There's different ways of doing this. I'm going to do it the easy way. I'm going to select this. Also, some people might say that the other ways are easier. Let's just bring in a circle and we'll make it... I don't want them too boxy. 18, 16, 5, 16. 16 vertices, and scale it down. I'm going to look from the top, and I'll get rid of these ones. I'll take that, Shift-D, rotate Z 180, pull it out. We'll just do it this way. We'll join those with a face, take that. I'll make a face there and inset, and get rid of that face. I might scale the X a little bit. Yeah, that's going to be good enough. Okay, so bring it up like that, give it some thickness, and then bevel the edges. Just with 3 should be good enough. We'll flip that. Okay. Alrighty, so Let's bring that over here. And I'm going to rotate X90. And I'll just have a look at the size of that. I might scale this in the X and even in the Z. Just do that. All right, now I'm going to just connect them. So I'll do that, and then I'll rotate X90. So there's another one. Take the whole thing now, Shift D, and just keep going. So I want to look at the size of that chain. I think it's too big, and so I'm just going to scale it down like that. Shift D. We'll do another bunch, and then I'm going to go Shift D one more time. I'll do another bunch, and I'll have that. Okay, and what I want to do now is I want to come in here and I want to pivot around this. So I'm going to bring my 3D cursor there and set the pivot to there like that. And now I'm going to rotate around the Y, so RY, all with the chain, RY. And it looks like this link is joining pretty nicely, so I'm going to come back in here and Control L on this one, X vertices, get rid of that. And then I'm going to take this and just sort of push it into place a little bit better. And I might rotate the Y a little bit more. And we have that. How's that? Okay. You know, it would be nice if there's one other detail I could add to this. And I don't know that it's so necessary, but you know what? I feel like doing it. Just to show where this doesn't look like a chain length so much, and I kind of made it that way. And so I thought maybe with the plate that it attaches with, like this, and I know it's such a small detail that you never really see, but still, let's just go back to medium point and bevel this thing. The small details might make it. I will use 5 though, but I'll only use 3 there. Doesn't matter. Of course, I can make it thicker, and maybe I will exaggerate it. Scale that in the Z and pull it up a little bit so it's a bit more chunkier. And then I'll take this, Shift D to duplicate it and bring it out. And actually I'm going to break it out, and in order to get it to where I need it, I'm going to select this. I don't feel like doing a bunch of screwing around, so I'm going to, for this, now set the origin to the 3D cursor and set the geometry to origin. At least it's close. I'll rotate Y90, and then I should be able to do this. Okay, hopefully that looks alright. So I'm going to take both of these and let's do that again. I'll be joining the chain anyhow. Just hang on both of these and join them. And actually, I'm going to join the chain to that part. I should have actually. Let's take this stuff and disconnect it for a moment. Key to break it out. I'm going to join it onto this so that I can mirror this all over. Yeah, alright. So now I'll come in here and I'll just select something. That's good enough. So that's central. And now I can take this and set the origin to the 3D cursor, and we can mirror that over in the Y. And I am going to apply the mirror, and I'm going to join all this together so it's all one thing, right? Okay, and yeah, let's put a bolt here on the side, not on the front, right? On the side, yeah. We'll do that with a UV sphere, 10 and 6, so that's fine. Again, I could do these details in Substance Painter, but for those of you that don't have it and just want to do some modeling details, that's why I'm doing this. And sometimes it looks better modeled. Don't tell that to a game designer. People don't, because they say, no, it doesn't. Anyways, I'll shade smooth that. Maybe it doesn't have to stick out so much. Just on there, like that. Okay, and we got to do a 3D cursor thing again here. Okay, what did I do? Set the origin of the 3D cursor and mirror in the Y. Okay, apply that and join. All right, so we have a shelving unit, and yeah, of some sort. And then just to show you real quick, we would put some stuff on there. If I do this and I go for 16 vertices, I will put a subdivision on this just to make it look a bit better. But we could have something like, maybe that whole thing is too big. I'll just extrude up and scale in like this, just to make some kind of a bottle. I won't even really do much. Just do that for now, and then just bevel it a little bit with a few segments here and there. Just do that, and maybe that, and we'll just come up here and we'll do maybe 3 or something. And let's try Control 1, shade smooth, just to have it there. You know, so that could be there. I'm going to just duplicate it, and I'm going to scale Shift Z, thin it, and I will scale in Z as well. Just a smaller one, and you know, so it's got some stuff on there. Right? Yes. I would have preferred a bigger bevel on the bottom, but anyways, you get the idea. So where are we at? Let's do this. Okay. Yeah, I knew something funny had gone on. I put that on there by accident. Now the other thing is this ceiling, the height of this, I don't know. I'm just going to pull that and snap it to there. Let's have a look at the statistics just for the fun of it. Only at 70,000. Okay, so it's not very bad. Let's try this matte cap. So this is what we have so far. So I think it's looking pretty nice so far. Maybe with a few wooden barrels in there. Maybe with something inside here like a bench or like a little stool with some chains that come down. I do want to get a little bit more, see, because there's going to be a lot of bricks, so I want to have a few different types of materials and shapes. I want to have a mixture of rectangular and circular. Those are like the two opposites, and then some other shapes that are like tapered cylinders, this style. You know, so you get multiple shapes in there. It's not all boxy or all circular. So that's why I'm hoping to do that, even though this thing may not stay. But do a few barrels, maybe a few wooden boxes in there, maybe a couple of bones or something like that, and some Aztec symbols. Some of that will be texture and not modeled anyhow. And that's basically what the dungeon is going to be like, all right? And probably a view from somewhere like this, and I'll have a roof. I'm just thinking of a flat roof, all right? But that'll constrain the light and constrain the area, and we may have another one of these shelves over here or back there. And like I say, we'll strew a few things around, and then we'll be ready to get into some texturing, and then we'll decide if this stuff here fits the theme. And I don't know that yet. I'm hoping that it does, but if it doesn't, fair enough. Okay, so thanks so much for spending your time here with me, and if you're modeling along with me, if you got any questions, feel free to ask. Otherwise, good luck with your stuff. And even if you're not modeling, come on back for more modeling and then texturing. All right, see you soon.